Issue of whether or not Monday, the 20th of March this year is a public holiday is an issue of public interest. And under the law, the only person who can declare a public holiday and gazette it is a cabinet secretary in charge of Interior. And in this instance, the Honorable Professor Kindiki has not gazetted 20th of March 2023 as a public holiday. Now, if anyone would like to take the podium and declare that to be a public, and Section 7 of the Public Holidays Act confers the power on the Cabinet Secretary as the only person under Article 94, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution. And therefore, when Raila Amolo Odinga uses a public forum, then to mislead the Kenyan people that Monday the 20th of March is a public holiday, he is actually contravening the law. And the court has directed, and in very clear terms stated, when we filed the court case, that Monday is not a public holiday. Following these allegations of this, being a public holiday, the Honorable Lady Justice Ongundi has stated that this is a matter of great public interest. Secondly, there is a laid-down procedure for declaration of public holidays in Kenya. I have perused the pleadings and annexures and have not found any notice, any gazette notice by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Interior declaring the 20th of March 2023 as a public holiday as per Section 3 of the Public Holidays Act. And the judge does not have such gazette notice. None exists. And therefore, based on that fact, the 20th of March 2023 cannot be a public holiday. Very unfortunately, when politicians use the public podium to inflame the feelings of Kenyans who have no idea that that is a position in law, then we will have our economy at a standstill, and we will have even more and more of our children off school, and the general direction of our country will be the fragmentation and eventual fracture of our nation. This is not the way to go. Political platforms are not the forum to resolve disputes. There are established mechanisms of resolving disputes. You cannot go on a political platform and unilaterally say, I declare such and such a day to be a public holiday. Where did you derive that power from? If you do not have the power to do so, why are you seeking to declare to the people who are watching you and listening to your talk that that is a public holiday? When you know it is not a public holiday, this is an act which springs from malice, and it cannot be patriotic of you to do that. Therefore, every Kenyan should know that we are a country that is governed by the rule of law, and the law has prescribed the mechanisms and the manner by which a public holiday is declared. Anyone who is aggrieved by the outcome of an electoral process, whatever that outcome could be, is accorded the platform to ventilate that within the province of the law. But you cannot step outside the law and use a political platform and to begin saying that we want to overthrow the duly elected president because we feel we won the election. When all the institutions that have been erected and that are in place by the constitution of this country have declared the sitting president as having validly won the election. We must mature as a democracy. We are going backwards. If we accept these sort of declarations, we are creating the environment that sunk this nation in the year 2007 in the ignominious and very ugly clashes that resulted in the deaths of very many people. Is that where the Azimio people want to take this country? Because if they have that intent, if they have that intention, which is manifesting itself, I must say, then the ICC doors are open for them. But they cannot have the luxury of creating a scenario where everybody else lives in an atmosphere of fear about how will our children be tomorrow? How will our businesses be tomorrow? How will we then be able to live as a nation? So therefore, I am urging the Kenyan people to ignore these calls. And anyone who wants to create violence or be in a state of violence on that day, then the law will take its course.
I think the lawyer has covered everything, but I remember very vividly in 2013, during the mass action, Sabasaba mass action, we had a similar case filed here by the same lawyer, Harrison Kinyanjui. I remember case number 285 of 2013, and the court ruled against the, at that time, NASA, the NASA brigades, Raila Odinga and his colleagues. They were barred by the court not to breach the peace of this country. And today the court has declared that Monday shall not be a public holiday. So we are expecting all the school children, Monday waende shule, hardworking businessmen, businesswomen, business community in Nairobi and the entire country. On Monday, kazi, watu waendelee kwenda kazini. And Kenya has a working government. We have a president who has been elected, and the constitution is very clear. When someone wants to remove a president who has been elected, the constitution talks on that. It's very clear on that. What they are doing, this is treasonous, and it is not allowed in our Kenyan constitution. So, serikali, I'm very sure, mipango imepangwa, polisi watakuwa, so tunawapatia Kenyans hakikisho kuwa mwende kazini, watoto waende shule, hayo mengine mwachie polisi wafanye kazi yao. Our youth, because we've had some allegations by my uncle, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, is saying the government is using me to cause mayhem. As we believe in the rule of law, that's why we have come to court to stop this nonsense of Azimio, what they're trying to do. Kwa hivyo, my uncle, mimi nimekuja kotini to declare that Monday shall not be a public holiday. Now our youth, wherever they are, Kenyans, let us remain calm. Let the police do their work. Vijana wetu to remain peace. These guys want to break this country. Wanataka bloodshed itokee. Sisi tuna enjoy president wetu amekalia kiti. We are not ready for war. We are not ready to fight anyone. We shall remain peaceful because we believe in the rule of law.
Let me add, does not include your right or anyone's right who is in that demonstration to create havoc, mayhem, bloodshed, theft, or even engage in the general acts of hooliganism. What we saw in Kisumu the other day is testament to the very grave danger. If this was allowed to escalate, it will go down the precipice. And as Governor Sonko said, there is no room for that in our nation. There is no space that we should allow that in the name of the right to demonstrate under Article 37. And the law is very clear. Section 5 of the Public Order Act prohibits you from just walking out there and saying, you have the right to demonstrate. Article 37 of the Constitution tells you, yes, you could have that right. Yes, you have that right. Yes, you may exercise that right. But you cannot be armed, and you must be peaceful. Now, the expressions that we have seen and heard of people in those Azimio rallies saying they will be armed, they want to be armed, that cannot be within the constitutional provisions of Article 37. This is the precipice we will be getting into that led us in 2007 to the chaos that erupted. But if anyone wants to think that we can go back to the 2007 so that there can be a handshake, which they are denying, but which in effect they are deriving from, and they want to target us to go there. The difference is, in 2007, we did not have the 2010 Constitution. The 2010 Constitution clearly says that if you want to seize political power or gain control of government in any other way, in any other mode, in any other fashion, outside the Constitution, I'm sorry for you. The Constitution tells you you are wrong, you are doomed, you are damned, and you have no place in the country. We do not mean to demean anyone, but we are saying if we are a country that is ruled by the rule of law, let us recognize and accept the rule of law for what it is. Not in paper, not in theory, not something that we want to speak when we want to sound good, as some lawyers who have been on that platform want to sound so good. But when we come to the reality of it, of existence as a nation, we must elevate this country to where it ought to be for all of us. Not because some class have lost in the political realm, and therefore they want to come and hijack and take hostage the whole nation. It cannot be, it will not be, and it should not be allowed.